here at Blackpool Zoo, and we do have the biggest pool in all of the UK. Now, their age spans from a variety of different ages, from our oldest one, who actually is 31, and believe it or not, she is outliving the expectancy for a California sea lion. So she is probably the oldest California sea lion that you will find in all of the UK. And then we have some young ones as well. Now, our youngest ones were actually born last year and earlier this year, and that does include half-brother Pablo, who was born earlier this summer, and his half-sister Zana, who was born just the year before. Now, you will see them out in the back during the display, and that's just because they're still getting used to moving around in this pool, and they don't actually cause too much of a distraction to our sea lions while we do the display. So they will hang out in the back during the entire display. But as you can see, we do have some of our sea lions making their way up to the front. We have three here. We have Anya, we have her sister Gina, and we have Elmo. And these are all the parents of those two babies that are in the back of the beach. So Elmo is their father, and Anya and Gina, each one's mother. So as you can see, they're giving you a big wave hello. These are our sea lions, and they're very smart, and they will let you know when they deserve an applause. Now, like I said, Anya and Gina are sisters, and they are very loving to each other. As you can see, they like to give each other nice, loving kisses. But they get a little bit embarrassed by that. It's okay, girls. It's alright. Everybody knows you guys love each other very much. Now, these are sea lions. I do walk around the zoo during the day, and I hear people say, do you guys know where, or do you know where the seals are? I would like to see the seals. Now, we don't have any seals here, do we, guys? No, we have sea lions. And I get it can be a bit confusing, especially when I talk about seals before the display. But I'll give you guys just a few clues on how to identify the difference between a seal and a sea lion. So as you can see, Alex has Elmo there, and she's pointing at a little flap on the side of his head. Now, this is his ear. If you had a seal, you wouldn't actually see that little flap, because all they have is a little hole for the ear, and it is covered in fur. So you wouldn't actually notice that. But that's a bit of a small detail. It's pretty hard for you, especially if you're in the back. So we'll give you a bit of a bigger way to identify. So as you can see, Alex has her hands out, and this is to mimic a seal flipper. So that is about the size of a seal flipper, and if you compare that to Anya's flipper there, our big sea lion, it is much, much larger than your average seals. And that's because they use these powerful flippers to move around quite well in the sea, but they can also use it to move quite gracefully on land. So once again, Anya's going to demonstrate just how well she can move around. As you can see, she has no problem walking around, she has no problem standing up, and if she wanted to, she can even climb stairs. Now, Anya, do you think you can show us just how a slug would walk? A slug, a seal. As you can see, it's not very graceful. It is like a big fat slug on the ground. So as you can see, Anya is very good at impressions, showing you that a seal doesn't move as graceful as a sea lion would. Now, as you can see, they've already performed quite a variety of behaviors for you guys today. We do train them to learn a lot of behaviors, and this is to help them if they were to need in the wild. And we do use a variety of different tools to help teach these behaviors to them. But our first and probably most basic one is our target stick. Now, this is a very important tool, and all it is a white stick with a red tape on the end. Now, these seals are colorblind, but they do notice the difference in color. And as you can see, they're quite curious, so they will put their nose up to that red bit, and we can actually train them to move around. So as you can see, Alex has her moving all around the beach. We can take her down to the water, and during the summer holidays, we can even use that while they're in the water. But most importantly, we do use it for health checks. Now, as you can see, Alex is checking Gina's mouth over there, just to see if those teeth are nice and healthy. Now, I know they probably look black to you that are up close, and that's just from the oils and the fish that they're eating. How's she looking, Alex? All right? So that's not the only tool that we do use here at Blackpool. We do use other tools to ensure that they learn their behaviors. So Alex has something else in her hands. She has some large hoops. Now those large hoops are for our large bull sea lion, Elmo. And as you can see, he uses his strong, flexible neck to catch those hoops. So we got number 2. Let's go for number 3. There we go. Let's go for a full house with a bit of a different spin. Number 4, no problem. Very good, Elmo. But these flexible necks are actually used to catch fish. So we're going to test how well they can use these flexible necks in the water. Because as you know, you won't find many fish on land. So what we're going to do is we're going to test one of our other sea lions. So as you can see, those hoops got a bit smaller for Alex, and that's because our sea lion girls do have smaller necks. Now Elmo did used to use these, but as you can see, he's grown up quite a bit from when he was young. So they're now used for Gina and Anya here. So we have Gina going into the water, and we'll see just how well she can catch these hoops. So we have number 1, no problem. And she goes for number 2, swimming quite a distance to get it. Number 3, and finally, we got number 4. Of course, she has no problem catching it. Now these sea lions can, sorry guys, a little distracted today. So these sea lions do swim at speeds of around 15 miles per hour, so they have no problem getting to that hoop. But along with those necks, they actually use very sensitive whiskers to find their food. Now these are probably one of the most sensitive of all mammals in the world, and the reason they use these whiskers is to actually sense vibrations in the water. They'll sense the movement from the fish as they create vibrations, and as you can see, they can even use them to help balance the ball on their nose. So what they're actually doing is they're using those whiskers to feel where the ball is, but as they're moving around with that ball, they're actually keeping their eyes on our trainer, Alex, so when she wants the ball back, Elmo can even be a bit show-offy and do a nice flipper stand, but when she wants that ball back, she can give him the signal, and he'll give it right back to her. But once again, this is better used in the water. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of a race to see which of our sisters can get the ball back to the stand first. So we do have 2 balls, we have 2 sisters, and what we're going to do is we're going to put them into the water and see who is the faster of the 2. Now as you can see, they got right to that ball. They were sensing those vibrations as the ball was hitting the water, and Anya, the speedy sister, is able to get it back no problem. But Gina is a very friendly and not a sore loser sister, and she gives it right back to Anya and back to Alex again. Now they are good predators. They do catch many different species of fish in the water, but they're not the top of the food chain. They actually do face threats in the water in terms of predators, and that does include the killer whale. But it's okay, girls. We don't have any killer whales in the water. So what we're going to, and Elmo, sorry Elmo. And we do have another clue for one of their other predators in the water. So what we'll do is we'll have Gina go down there. She's going to get into the water and give you that clue. So if you pay attention to that front flipper, you may be able to figure out what kind of animal she's imitating. So if you know what it is, on the count of 3, I want you guys to shout it out for me. 1, 2, 3. I think that was about a quarter or less of you guys in this crowd. Let's get a little bit louder. Let's get everybody doing it. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Alex, did you hear that one? She says she would like a little bit more excitement from you guys. Come on, let's try to wake up. It's getting late in the afternoon already. I think you guys have had your lunch and should be up now. So one last time, Mom and Dad, let's join in as well. 1, 2, 3. I think that one was much better, and of course you guys are right. That does include the bull shark, the tiger shark, and even the big, bad, great white shark. But you know, what would you do if you saw a shark in the water? She'd get out of that water as quick as she can, and she'd find somewhere nice to hide. But once again, we don't have any great white sharks here in the water. But these sea lions do swim out into quite deep waters, and they might experience a predator when they don't have any land near. So what Anya's going to do is she's going to demonstrate what she would do if she was in the middle of the ocean and she encountered one of those predators. So Anya's going to be very patient. She's going to wait for Alex's signal. She's going to get in that water, and she's going to do a double backflip. Now that double backflip creates many bubbles, and most importantly, it creates confusion. So that way a predator would have trouble spotting their food, and these sea lions can get away.